Real Virginia is produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau. Farming, it's all good. Visit our website at vafarmbureau.org.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce all of the wonderful products we enjoy.
Find out what makes the State Fair of Virginia the largest outdoor classroom in the state. It's berry season. We'll tell you how you can grow your own blackberries in your home garden. And we take you to the Latino Farmers Market in Richmond and find out how this market is bringing Latin culture to the capital city.
Welcome back everyone. We're here at the farm, Knuckles Farm Elementary School in Henrico County, that is. And teachers all across Virginia are trying to find new ways to teach the standards of learning to their students. As Patrick Dunn reports, many find that the Educational Expo at the State Fair of Virginia offers an excellent outdoor classroom experience.
You wouldn't ordinarily think of heading off to the State Fair to get an education, but don't say that to Betsy Foster. As the Education Exposition Coordinator for the State Fair of Virginia, she's been doing it for nearly 3 decades, and it's growing year after year.
This will be our 27th year. It gives the students in the state of Virginia a chance to feel, touch, and see Virginia's history, agriculture, natural resources. There's so much that they have the opportunity to see that they cannot see it anyplace else. In fact, we call it the state's largest outdoor classroom because there's something on these grounds that could satisfy the interest of all the students and the teachers.
And it's not just a field trip for the students. The children will be able to see the inside workings of a beehive, see cattle, goats, horses, chickens, and other farm animals close up, and possibly try their hand at milking a cow. The exhibits are coordinated with the SOLs, or Standards of Learning, in the state of Virginia, so that teachers can satisfy those requirements they need to bring to their students. The program caters to elementary, middle, and high school grade levels across the state. Foster sees benefits for all students.
The children who come from the rural areas see the importance of the agriculture and the natural resources and the importance of where they're living and what they do, and it also gives the young people from the city a chance to reach out and touch animals, crops, things that they've never had the opportunity to have be a part of their life. And I think that's the important thing. And you see the children saying, I saw chicken hatch, I saw a cow being born. I've never known what cotton looked like, or tobacco, or corn. So they have a chance to see all that. And I think it shows the importance of what the state of Virginia has to offer.
Summertime is when teachers plan their next year's curriculum, and there's a website for teachers to register their classes, download a teacher's guide, and view the exhibits that relate to their particular classroom needs. With registration comes a discounted admission price for school groups, which includes all the educational exhibits, but not the rides. Foster is expecting nearly 15,000 students during the 2013 Educational Exposition, which runs this coming September 27th through October 4th. She's urging teachers to start their planning right away.
It's such an opportunity for them to get out, touch, feel, see the chickens, the ducks, the agriculture, the horticulture. There's so much more, and the gates open at 10 o'clock and they can stay as long as the school permits.
And as Foster will tell you, it's often hard to convince the students to get back on their buses to return home. Reporting from Doswell, Virginia, I'm Patrick Dunn.
The Educational Exposition is just one way students across Virginia can learn about Virginia agriculture. The Virginia Agriculture in the Classroom program offers dozens of lesson plan options for teachers from elementary school to high school. And the topics covered range from simple math to complex physics and social studies. Students can extract DNA from a strawberry or learn how agriculture saved the Virginia colony from collapse a few years after it was founded. Continuing education workshops are offered all year long to teachers who want to use AITC curriculum.
Hi, I'm Chris Mullins, and today we're going to talk about blackberries from the ground up. Stay tuned.
I feel family farms are very important because it's not just a living or occupation, it's a way of life. We live, work, and play right here in one location.
The grandchildren are around, and as often as they can, they'll come and say, "Grandma, can I help?"
There's a lot of challenges, but by having to be a family operation, it makes it all more enjoyable.
This is what I do. It's my livelihood. I enjoy doing it. This is my hobby. It's my vocation. It's a wonderful place to enjoy life with my wife, my children, and grandchildren.
We're putting out a product for other people to drink and consume. We hope they like milk and cheese and ice cream and butter and all those good things.
What I've always done is what I enjoy doing. It's what I hope my family will continue to do in the future.
I'm Gerald Heatwell.
I'm Anita Heatwell,
I'm Monty Heatwell,
and I'm dedicated to dairy, our cows, our milk, and our land.
It's berry season, and many people enjoy growing their own blackberries. As Chris Mullins tells us, it can be quite easy from the ground up.
Hi, today we're going to talk about blackberries. As you can see beside me here, we've got some beautiful plants full of fruit ready to go. And all this fruit shows you that these plants can be a great addition to the home garden. They're very productive. A home gardener could probably get 10 to 20 pounds for each plant over the growing season. So they're a very nice plant, not too much disease and insect problems. They're a perennial crop, so they're gonna be here for a long time for you in the garden. One thing you have to think about though, if you're gonna plant blackberries, is site selection. And one of the things you need is a site that's got full sun, and you need to think about, as these plants get bigger, having plenty of room. So you don't want to put them too close. You can see these rows are about 10 feet apart, and spacing within the row is about 4 to 5 feet between each plant. So plenty of space and full sun, and that's a good site for blackberries. Now let's go look at how we might start planting these plants. Well, as you're thinking about planting, one of the first things you need are plants. And you can buy bare-rooted plants that can be put in the ground in a lot of Virginia in March. And potted plants with the root ball attached can be put in after the last frost. They can be put into ground that's got a pH of around 6.5 to 7. Sandy soil is very good. Heavier soils, if you can amend it with some organic matter, will do very well for blackberry. Blackberry plants can require a lot of water throughout the season, and this is one way to irrigate or provide water through this drip irrigation line. Water comes down here and drips out right at the base of the plant. They might require as much as 1 inch a week during the growing season. And another thing that helps keep that moisture in is mulch. The mulch that you see here is a hardwood mulch, and it can be applied to the surface here. It'll of course keep weeds down, and probably more importantly, it'll keep that soil moisture in the ground. A couple different types of blackberries, some that have thorns on the stem and some that are thornless. Of course, the thorn varieties are going to stick you a little bit when you work on them. So thornless varieties can be nice for the home gardener, and there are lots of different types of those, lots of different varieties. Some produce crops earlier, some produce crops midsummer, and some late summer. So if you were a home gardener that wanted to put all three of those types in there, it would give you a longer range of harvest throughout the whole summer. Now, one thing that blackberries need are going to be a trellis system. These plants grow up, but they will fall over, so they need to be trellised up on wires. What you see here is a trellis system that has, that's called a V-trellis system, and it has wires, about 6 wires, high tensile wires, and they are going to be holding up the canes. As they grow up, the canes are tied to these wires, and it just supports them, keeps them from falling down, gives you a lot of air movement through there, so you'll have less disease problems. This is something that you can build the first season because you don't need it that first season, but it can be a very important part of your blackberry production area in your garden. So after you have done all this work, one of the things that you really get to enjoy are the fruits of your labor. These beautiful, large-sized blackberries, sweet and juicy, ready to eat for you and your neighbors. For more information about blackberry production, please contact your local county extension office. From the ground up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
Up next on Real Virginia, Kendra Bailey Morris makes shrimp creole seem easy with a slow cooker recipe. Coming up on Heart of the Home.
Today, we gather to recognize the selfless decision of one of the most influential women of our time. The woman who, after having one too many drinks, chose not to drive home buzzed. Here today to honor Rachel is the family whose lives she spared.
Welcome home, man.
Severe weather can destroy a home in seconds. There's no time to think, only time to act. Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes. And stay informed during severe weather any way you can. It can be the difference between losing your possessions and losing your life. Just ask the owners of this house. Visit weather.com/ready and let the Weather Channel help you prepare your family for emergencies.
All-terrain vehicles are a lot of fun and have become very popular in rural Virginia. An ATV is versatile and is used for a variety of purposes. But it's important to never carry a passenger unless the ATV is specifically designed to carry riders. An extra rider can distract the driver and throw the ATV off balance. Operate your ATV safely. And remember,
no extra riders.
For more on all-terrain vehicle safety, go to farmbureauadvantage.com.
In the summertime, you don't want to spend all day in a hot kitchen, but yet you still want to make a great meal for your family. As Kendra Bailey Morris tells us, that's easy. All you have to do is follow her slow cooker recipe for shrimp creole in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Kendra Bailey Morris, and welcome to the Heart of the Home. Today, I'm going to be making a recipe from my cookbook that comes out in August 2013 called the Southern Slow Cooker, Big Flavor, Low Fuss Recipes for Comfort Food Classics. Yes, I said it. And this is a recipe for shrimp creole done in the slow cooker. And the ingredient that we're going to be featuring today is actually, surprisingly, not shrimp. It's going to be green pepper, which is a very integral part of Cajun and Creole cooking as part of the Holy Trinity. And we're going to be featuring Virginia green peppers. So what we're going to do first is I have a cast iron pan with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter. And I'm going to add some minced onion to that. I really strongly believe in searing off vegetables, especially when you have vegetables like onions, green peppers to some degree, but mostly celery, onions, and garlic. Sear them off ahead of time before you add them into the slow cooker. Not only do they caramelize and add a tremendous amount of flavor, but you also get a really nice color to them. And I love doing this in cast iron pan as well. As some of you may know from slow cooking, oftentimes flavors tend to dilute while they're in the slow cooker because they're just cooking for a really, really long time. And so this is a way to actually add a little bit of that flavor back. And I'm going to add some garlic. Got to have garlic. Some Cajun cooking. And I'm really just going to saute this for about a minute or two. And I just want it to get a little bit translucent, and I want it to absorb the flavors of the butter and the olive oil. And what I have here is my slow cooker that I've sprayed with cooking spray, which I highly recommend doing because we're going to be putting some tomato ingredients in there, and they tend to stick a little bit, and you will have a big old mess on your hand. And I'm going to add this in. You need a strong arm, pick up cast iron. This is going to go right in the slow cooker, like so. And next, I'm going to begin by adding the Creole ingredients, which I just have some diced tomatoes in their juice, a can, a 14.5 ounce or 16 ounce, depending on what you can find. Sometimes the ounces vary when it comes to buying things in the grocery store anymore. And I've got some tomato sauce. Add that in. A little bit of sugar. About a teaspoon or so. I've got dried thyme. This is the great thing about slow cooking. It's just so easy. Just dump it all in there. Cayenne pepper. Got to have cayenne pepper in there, of course. A couple of bay leaves. A little bit of salt. We can season this again once it's done. And I've got some chili powder and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. And this is ready to go. So I'm going to put this back in the slow cooker. We're going to cover this and cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. About an hour before we're going to serve this, we're going to go ahead and add our green peppers because we don't want to overcook them and we don't want them to get mushy, and that will happen if they sit in there for longer than an hour or two, on low even. So, and then once we're done with that, at the very, very end, we'll drop our shrimp and they'll cook for maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on how hot your slow cooker runs, until they're nice and pink, and we're going to serve this over rice and it's going to be done. So we're going to go ahead and let this cook and we'll be right back. Okay, so everything's been going about 6 hours, 6.5 hours or so, and I've gone ahead and added my green peppers, and we cooked those for an hour, and then I dropped my shrimp. And when I added my shrimp, I really just cooked them maybe 15, 20 minutes tops, just until they're curled and pink. So you want to watch them really closely, because once shrimp starts to cook, it doesn't stop. And this is done, and it just smells amazing. And I've got some white rice in a bowl here. And I'm going to spoon some of my mixture right on top of this rice. Some extra shrimp in there. You could definitely serve this with some hot sauce on the side. I recommend that. I'm just going to do a little sprinkle of some minced green onions, which are also in season during the summer in Virginia. And there you have it. You have a slow cooker shrimp creole featuring Virginia green peppers and some green onions as well. I'm Kendra Bailey Morris. Let's get cooking.
Recipes from the heart of the home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org.
Pick your own berry farms are quickly popping up around the state. Blackberries typically peak during June, and there are usually 2 crops of raspberries, June berry and fall berry, which begins in late July. You Pick Blackberry farms typically sell berries by the pound, and You Pick raspberry farms typically sell berries by the pound or pint. Blackberries are the most potent cancer-fighting berries of them all by nearly 40%, and raspberries are high in potassium, vitamin A, and calcium. Some tips to remember before going picking at a local farm. Always call before you go to the farm, and when they are in season, a large turnout can pick a field clean, so call first. Arrive early in the morning, especially on weekends. For more information on Pick Your Own farms, go to pickyourown.org.
The tradition returns at the State Fair of Virginia, September 27th through October 6th at the Meadow Event Park in Doswell. Come enjoy all the thrills, from the midway rides and games to every kind of fried food imaginable. Funnel cakes to corn dogs, there's something for kids of all ages. Like live music, we'll have music every day and night at the fair, including a host of national acts. Horse shows and exhibits can be seen every day at the fair. Young McDonald's Farm returns and continues the tradition of the baby ducks, cows, sheep, llamas, and Goat Mountain. And don't forget the Dairy Birthing Center. The fair is a great way for school kids to visit Virginia's largest outdoor classroom with 12 SOL certified agriculture and forestry exhibits. Hundreds of students from all over the state will compete for scholarships and state bragging rights by showing their prize animals. Come see the state's largest pumpkin and watermelon. It doesn't matter if you're 1 or 101, there's something for everyone to enjoy. It's a Virginia family tradition that promises memories to last a lifetime. To learn more, go to statefairva.org.
Here we go. What? What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent, because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you.
There are 7,800 farmers markets across the United States. That's up 10% from last year. As Norm Hyde reports, not only is the demand increasing for locally produced foods, but the demand is also growing for foods from other cultures.
With a name like Teddy Elliott, Latino foods don't exactly come to mind. But Teodora, her given name, is the catalyst behind La Plaza, a Latino farmers market in the city of Richmond's South Side.
The Merchants Club started this project in an effort to reach out to the community and be able to offer and sell the produce at a discount to the community. There is a lot of Latino stores in the area, and every one of them buy just about from the different vendors. There's only a selective group of vendors that they buy from, and they thought if they united, they can buy wholesale and in turn be able to give better price to the community. So this was born as a pilot program.
It's been a real community effort. The market works under the nonprofit umbrella of the Enrichment Foundation and received an $83,000 grant from the USDA for 2 years to provide a healthy eating alternative in an urban area with little or no access to large grocery stores. These areas are known as food deserts, places where residents have poor diets due to a lack of fresh foods.
One of the things that we wrote in the grant that we would do, which is having cooking demonstrations, how to prepare healthy foods. A lot of the lower demographics are so used to fast food, they don't have time to cook or don't know how to cook fresh foods and vegetables. That's not something that's part of their natural eating habits. So we wanted to teach them how easy and fast and the nutrition value behind it. That is something that they can take home.
Addressing the challenge of food deserts was one of the principal reasons La Plaza Market received the grant, Elliott said. More than 200 areas in Virginia have been designated food deserts by the USDA. Again, areas where urban poor have to travel more than a mile to a grocery store, or rural poor have to travel more than 10 miles to buy fresh food.
It's very much a convenience store set up in a lot of these neighborhoods, which there's nothing wrong with convenience stores, but they don't offer the variety at an affordable price all the time for certain segments of the society. So either you get the people to the food as in a grocery store, you figure out ways to transport them in affordable ways, or you bring a larger variety to them actually in their locality. And one great way in an urban setting is obviously a farmer's market.
But La Plaza's mission is also to build a sense of community in an urban area in need and to celebrate Latin culture.
Those are the things that we're trying to encourage in a community that's used to fast food, that how a healthy alternative. We do plan to have Zumba classes and exercise classes here. We want to be able to have a kids corner where there's reading for children, arts and crafts for them, and just kind of promote a place to come on Mondays when you got nothing to do on a Monday. You can come eat, exercise, shop, and just have a good time. That's what La Plaza is about, community.
The market sits near the intersection of Broad Rock Boulevard and Warwick Road and operates Mondays from 4 to 7:30, now to the middle of October. You can learn about events coming up at laplazarva.com. Reporting from Richmond, I'm Norm Hyde.
Thanks for watching Real Virginia. We're so glad you could join us to celebrate the bounty Virginia has to offer. Whether it's in your home, your landscape, or your garden, we are proud to say that this is Real Virginia. So for everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a good month.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia.